The Magnificent Trufflepigs is a narrative walking game in the same vein as Firewatch. Over the course of 5 days, you'll wander a picturesque English farm in Stanning, a small village in the UK, combing the fields with a metal detector in search of a missing earring. You were invited on this week away by your childhood friend, Beth, someone you haven't spoken to in years. As you find rusty screws, costume jewelry, and other metallic knickknacks, you talk to Beth over a walkie-talkie, trying to figure out what exactly is going on. It turns out, Beth is having a tough time.
Weird when you think about it. Most cattle never leave the farm, do they? Until they go to the abattoir. Guess I'm no different. Born here, work here, I'll probably die here too.
Jeez, you've been a bit morose, Beth. We've literally got a lifetime to enjoy life before death.
When I was 10, I spent the summer at my grandparents' house. It was nothing special, just a modest ranch house in a Wisconsin suburb. But their pack rat house and gardens felt to my 10-year-old self like a kingdom to explore. We'd spend the summer days roaming my grandfather's garden, plucking tomatoes and raspberries, or scrambling down the embankment on the back of the house to walk the train tracks. We'd climb aboard the dusty, trailered boat in the second garage and pretend to be pirates all summer long. I look back on those memories in sepia-colored glory. When life particularly gets me down, I still yearn for those times. I still want to go back there. I want to, sit in the front room and drink my Nesquik, watch Casper on VHS. That feeling, that eternal longing for simpler times, is what drives the story of the Magnificent Trufflepigs, a self-described evening-sized narrative adventure. Beth has called you to the recently sold Hobbs farm to relive a moment of childhood glory. 20 years prior, after a summer of metal detecting, she found a single earring that earned her some local fame and 500 pounds. Beth believes that the twin earring is still in this field somewhere, but time is running out to find it now. As Adam, Beth's friend, who only seems to be around when Beth is going through something, you'll begin to ask the hard questions we all rely on a good friend to ask. With her fancy car and well-paying job, Adam knows she doesn't need the money for this earring. When Beth drops a hint that things with her fiancé aren't going well, Adam digs in, never quite letting her deflect.
Morning.
How did it go at the office? Get sorted?
Oh, that. Can we just have some fun today? I don't really want to think about work or Jake.
Did I mention this was a metal detecting game? Each morning you'll start off at a particularly idyllic part of Summer Meadow, and you'll swing your metal detector around and unearth little knickknacks or metallic tchotchkes. It's a simple loop that doesn't overstay its welcome and serves as good narrative pacing between the conversations you end up having with Beth. Throughout your time in the field, you'll hear stories from Beth's childhood. You'll learn more about their small English village life, the outdoor equipment company Beth's family owns and runs, and all the things that are plaguing Beth's mind.
I lost track of time. Then my tummy rumbled and reminded me. Ready for lunch? Or do you want to hang fire?
Lunch sounds like a good idea.
Each day is split in two by lunch in Beth's car, where sometimes tense cutscenes play out. Adam using the tight, enclosed space of the car to press Beth on what's really going on with her stressful job at the family company or her on-the-rocks relationship with her fiancé.
Strange as it was, I didn't do anything wrong. I did find it.
You did. But there's always been a niggling suspicion about it, hasn't there?
It felt too lucky. Almost like I wanted it so badly that I'd somehow conjured it, made it happen.
You're not that gifted, Beth.
I know.
Then the only explanation is...
I don't know. There isn't one.
Really? If you can't even admit to me, to yourself, then we may as well get back out there and detect.
The Magnificent Trufflepigs is a game of its time, which is kind of odd to say about something that was released in 2021. It's a game spent outdoors in lush green fields away from the masses, a calming breath of fresh air compared to the stifling lockdown many of us were in at the time. It's also a game published by AMC Games, another sign of the times. It's probably not surprising that one of the vanguards of prestige TV in the mid-2000s and aughts stepped into games to tell similar stories. But even playing it in 2025, it has that distinct Mad Men flavor of prestige TV. A little more Suits than Severance. A lot of that AMC flavor is tucked in the juxtaposition of a mundane week metal detecting a farm with a childhood friend in search of forgotten treasure, and the more serious mental breakdown Beth is going through. The game starts as a charming Hallmark-style rom-com, and quickly winds its way into a Don Draper-esque exploration of the past and the simplicity of childhood.
I was trying to turn the clock back to a happier time. I'm not that kid anymore.
The game never swings to a Breaking Bad level of trauma, but Beth's life is clearly coming undone in the kind of way a serial planner begins to crumble when things don't go to plan. There's a simple twist in the story that I'm not going to spoil, and it's neither all that surprising nor terribly inventive for a game like this, but the game is well written and it's wonderfully acted throughout.
I bumped into Sergeant Marler. He was asking lots of questions. He spotted me the other day. I think he was making sure I was okay out here by myself.
But you're not by yourself.
Oh, I'm fairly sure he didn't see you.
Many of the reviews of the game hammered on how similar the Magnificent Trufflepigs is to Firewatch. It's a very fair but unfortunate comparison.
This shale slide is steep. How do you expect me to get down this?
I don't remember it being that bad. It's not even named on our topos.
Sure, if I had to choose between the two, Firewatch is probably the better game, but I think the comparison is missing the point. Much like Beth discovers throughout the course of her metal detecting adventure that you can't go back, we must journey forward. Filmmakers still make gangster movies even though The Godfather exists. It's the human condition to find the thing that inspires us, something that brought meaning to some part of our life and revisit it. To take the art that resonates with us the most and try to add a little piece of our person back into it. The Magnificent Trufflepigs certainly wears its Firewatch influence on its sleeve, but it's interested in a different story, a different resolution, finding a different way to find direction. It's definitely worth experiencing, if for no other reason than gaining the clarity that only seems to come when you realize you can't go back. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
It should be called Cripple Gulch, just east of Gonna Pee in a Bag Forever Flats.
Oh, is that Absorka Indian? Maybe Creek?
It's actually English for not in my job description. No! Oh.
Nah, mountain rescue.
Of course. Regular as buses at this time of year. Guess someone's come unstuck.
Oh, it'll be some dickhead. Gone hiking, completely unprepared. Then, surprise, surprise, they need rescuing.